Are you a college student feeling the weight of student loans? Perhaps worried about how you're going to get through this new school year without falling into credit card debt? As a student, you might think a good job is hard to come by, but according to my next guest, you don't have to look very far to make some extra cash in college. Jordan Goldman is founder and CEO of Unigo.com, and he's joining me today with tips on where to look and how to pick a campus job. Welcome back, Jordan. It's great to see you.
You too.
So it's not so hard to find a job if you're a college student these days. Is that what
you
you're
just
saying?
have to know where to look. So colleges are kind of these complex ecosystems where you have everything from dining services to postal services to research assistants. So you really want to look and say, what type of job would I like to have? And then which part of the ecosystem on campus can I go to get that job?
So you have to, there's not one centralized place you can go. You kind of have to search out the area that you'd like to work in?
Yeah, you have to think of it that there's almost every type of job imaginable in one of the departments on campus. So pick the job you'd like to have, go to that department, and see if they have any available slots.
But Jordan, you're saying that for a college student, they should focus on on-campus jobs, or should they, just spread the net wider?
I mean, some good things about on-campus jobs. The pay tends to be better than minimum wage. So you can go into your college town, but this is usually going to pay you just about the same. If you have a work-study program, you actually have to work on campus to fulfill that part of your tuition. And there's some perks to working on campus. One of them is just physical location. You're really close to your classes. You're really close to your dorm. It's easy for you to get to place. They tend to be 20 hours or less per week, and they tend to be really flexible around your schedules because they understand you're a student first. You're on that campus for your studies.
Very important, and that's an important thing to always keep in mind. You're there to study and to get your degree, so you don't want a job that's going to require you to spend too many hours away from the books.
And that's a risk if you take an off-campus job, that they're going to work you really hard and push you to take more hours, and that's going to kind of defeat the purpose of why you're on campus in the first place.
Absolutely. But yet you say, even when it comes to on-campus jobs, students should just not take any old job. What should they be looking for?
I mean, you want to look for jobs that fit both who you are and the skill set you're trying to acquire. So if you're really social, you love seeing new people, maybe campus coffee shop is a good job. If that's going to stress you out, you don't want to see all your friends all the time, maybe you should work in a quieter setting, an administrative office, or work for a professor. So pick a job that really suits who you are personally. You also want to look at the schedule and the shifts for a job.
I was going to say, I mean, everyone has a very different class schedule. You may not be able to do a lot of jobs during the day, but maybe you could do a night job.
Exactly, and that's why these on-campus jobs are great. They tend to have a lot of different shifts. They try to accommodate student schedules, and you want to be honest with yourself. Are you a morning person? Can you fit in time before class to do an on-campus job, or is that when you're scribbling to get your homework done in time, and you're better with a job at night?
Absolutely. All right, let's go through your list of some top on-campus jobs, and the first one you say worth looking into is library assistant.
Yeah, I mean, this one, libraries tend to have a lot of open jobs. You get to help students do their research. A lot of times students will come to you and say, I'm looking for this information, where can I find it? And you're going to pick up skills that could be useful for your own studies. And you're in the library, so when your shift is over, it's easy to get your own work done.
Absolutely. Can you do a little studying on the job in this?
Yeah, you tend to. I mean, you always have to have a book in front of you, so might as well be your own book.
That's right. All right, next you say campus tour guide. Why is this such a good job?
I mean, campus tour guides, you get to know the history of every single part of your campus. Generally gives you appreciation for it, but you're working with people. Every single time you take a tour, you're working with a new set of people, you're interacting with them, you're learning kind of free-form improvisation, and that's a skill set that's really useful in a lot of other jobs in the future.
It's
you also,
great
a lot of
if
people
you're maybe a theater major would have success with a job like that?
Yeah, and you get to meet, a lot of people say you get to meet famous people because famous people's kids go to college too, so usually once a month or so, you'll get a special guest on your tour.
Do a little networking while you're at work. Why not? Why not? All right, then also you say a note taker is a good job. What exactly is a note taker?
So this is one that a lot of people don't know about. Go to your campus's disabilities office, and there are a lot of disabled students who need notes taken for them. So the disabilities office, if you qualify as a note taker, will let you go to your own classes, take very detailed notes, hand those notes in, and get paid for it. And they'll then distribute that to disabled students who can't take notes themselves.
So you're essentially getting paid to do a really good job in your own class.
Exactly.
Not a bad deal. All right, next we've got campus recreation worker. You organize games? What do you do?
This is just someone who works with the sports teams on campus, and if you figure there's a new sport or a team that's in season every 2 or 3 months, you're never working with the same sport for 9 months out of the year. Every couple months, you're wherever the big sport is, you're helping them, you're getting to know the athletes, you're helping set up games, and if you're a sports fan, nothing could be better than that.
All the better, that's right. And what about a campus post office worker? You say that this one can be a good job as well.
Yeah, I mean, the post office worker tends to deliver the mail to every single department on campus, so you're going to get to know all the different department secretaries, in some cases department heads, you're going to meet other students. all the facilities around campus. You'll get to know the people that work there. So it's just a good way to network with all the different departments on campus in case you ever need to leverage that.
Absolutely. And of course, being a research assistant is always great, especially if you're considering going into graduate school in a certain field, right?
Yeah, I mean, find a professor that you really admire and want to study under. Help them do their big research, what they really care about. Learn your own skills and hopefully get a letter of recommendation from that professor later on that you have what it takes to get your own PhD.
And you also recommend gym instructor. Is that if you have a talent in a certain sport?
Yes, so a lot of on-campus gyms, if you are good at yoga or Pilates or rock climbing, they will let you teach that class and get paid for it.
I personally taught ballet in college, so I know that that's a fact, and it's fun.
Do you still dance?
No, but that's all right. But it is, you're right, it's a fun way of making a little extra money.
Yeah.
Now tell us about how much we are making at each of these jobs. You say it's a little bit more than minimum wage, so is it varying tremendously?
No, I mean, it tends to be within $1 or $2 of minimum wage, so you're not going to make huge amounts of money, but you're on campus to study, so this is a way to just help pay for your tuition and not have to travel too far to do it.
Absolutely. And finally, the last one, this one is not that appealing to a lot of students, but you say it's not so bad, is food service worker.
Yeah, food service worker is actually a little bit interesting because people who take that job tend to stay with it all 4 years, and they tend to travel, so they'll start kind of just preparing the food and preparing the trays, but by the time they're a senior, they're a manager, and this is a almost restaurant-style environment where you're feeding hundreds and hundreds of students, so you get to go through every step of the management process, and that's a real skill set that later you put that on your resume.
And they stay with it for 4 years, so they must enjoy it.